I believe in helping the Palestinians in a way that is actually effective. And what is effective? I've mentioned this in the previous talk about Palestine. You've been deceived. When the Prophet ﷺ said, Sallat Allahu alaykum dhullan, Allah will afflict you with humiliation. La yanzi'uhu, and Allah will not remove this humiliation. Hatta tarji'u ila dinikum, until you return to your religion. I refuse to follow any other way to bring about the victory to the Palestinians. I truly, sincerely believe that the victory of the Palestinians is in the hand of the entire Muslim Ummah. Not certain governments, and not certain militant groups, and not certain politics. No. The victory of the Palestinians is in the hands of the entire Ummah. The entire Ummah, not just the Palestinians, because this is how they deceive the people. Oh, you're blaming the Palestinians for what's happened to them. No, I'm not blaming the Palestinians. I'm blaming me. I'm blaming me. Because of my sinfulness, and my children's sinfulness, and my family's sinfulness, and your sinfulness, and your family's sinfulness, and your children's sinfulness. Because of our sinfulness, Allah Azza wa Jal has humiliated us, and this is what's happening to the Palestinians because of us. And if I want to bring about the change, it's not going to be by putting the flag of Palestine. It's not going to be by crying to the kuffar to free Palestine. It's not going to be by having these social media campaigns of, exposing this and exposing that, and trying to sway the public opinion in our favor. It is not going to be by any of these means. These are not the means. These are not the successful means. Some of these might be successful to some degree, but this is only like taking Panadol to eradicate cancer. What you should do is you should eradicate the cancer, and then you take Panadol to minimize the pain. What the Ummah is doing right now is they were taking Panadol to eradicate the cancer. And then they complain when you don't want to take Panadol with them. I don't want to take Panadol with you. I want to go straight to the source. I want to remove the illness from its source, from its foundation. And that requires that we return to our deen. We establish Tawheed. We promote Tawheed. We obey Allah. We become righteous. We avoid sinfulness. We raise the generations upon that. Every generation wants to be the one that will free Palestine. Every generation, the one that you're living right now. This is your era. You want to take the credit. It was us, 2023. We were the people who brought, we hararna al-Aqsa, and we saved al-Aqsa, and we saved Gaza, and we saved Madri Esh. This is how your mind works. I want to be let your children do it. La, not my children, me. Ya Habibi, maybe you're in a state of weakness. You're not ready for that. You're underqualified and you're disqualified. Why don't you raise your children to do the job? No, I want to take the credit. Because it's all about me, baby. That's how we are. I'm a realistic person. I say, look, man, it's not our time. We've been weak for far too long. We haven't really done much work for the ummah. And therefore, I'm hoping not even my kids, maybe my grandchildren will be the ones whom Allah will give victory to when they return to Islam. That's how I see it. It doesn't mean that you sit there and you do absolutely nothing. No, when you're attacked, you defend yourself. There are still other things that you could do. But all of these are not going to solve the ultimate problem. So please, put things into perspective and speak the language of the scholars. The scholars are the level-headed people that have foresight, intelligence, wisdom, and knowledge of the Quran and Sunnah to give you the speech. I'm basically summarizing the speech of the scholars in the English language for you. But when you listen to idiots online, emotional females, with all due respect to our female sisters, with all due respect to our sisters, then you're gonna sound like everybody else. Free Palestine, no Starbucks, no McDonald's, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. تعال يا شيخ, اهدى يا شيخ. Then what are you living, a video game? This is not PUBG, ولا Fortnite, ولا مدري ايش, FIFA. Then which world are you living in and what planet are you from? This is the mentality of the people. كفار Zionist مدري agent Paco we خلاص. Then he goes and shoves a burger down, eats 15 pizzas, then tells you, wallah, where are the rulers? Smoking a cigarette in his house, telling you this ruler is not doing his job. You can't even overcome your own weakness of smoking a cigarette, but you want the ruler to overcome his weakness of having billions of dollars to do the job. Adi, if you're weak, he's weak. The least we could do is boycott. Okay, boycott, Habibi. That's the least. That's not the least you could do. That is not the least you could do. Why are you going for why are you going for the least? Why don't you go for the jugular? Why don't you go for the big stuff? Why don't you return to Islam and teach your children Islam and practice Islam fully? Why don't you do that? You want to boycott? Go ahead. I'm not against boycotting, by the way. I myself don't drink Starbucks anymore, even though I don't mind a cappuccino from Starbucks. I actually like it. It's not my favorite. My favorite would be other brands, but I don't mind enjoying a cappuccino, yet I no longer drink Starbucks. Even though Starbucks is saying, look, man, we didn't do anything, still, there's a doubt, I'm leaving it alone. So you want to boycott, Jazakallah khair, boycott. You don't try to misconstrue my speech. I'm saying that's not what it's all about, though. Some of these clowns online, that's all that they care about. Their whole thing is about boycotting. They go to I'm telling you, in Turkey, I was in Turkey, and I was meeting some brothers from among the people that, watch these talks. I met them in person over there in Turkey. And outside the masjid, outside this big masjid, there was a protest. And because I'm a traveler, I had combined Maghrib and Isha in the masjid. I prayed in the masjid Maghrib and I prayed Isha afterwards. And I went out to meet these brothers in a coffee shop. So during Isha prayer, I remained at the coffee shop watching everybody's stuff, and the brothers went for Isha. While they are in the masjid praying Isha, the protesting brothers were screaming in the street in front of the masjid. They missed the jama'ah. And it wasn't just men, it was women. Women wearing tight clothing, carrying a banner. Do you know what happens when a woman with body parts carries a banner above her head? Do you know what happens and what people see and what they focus on? Right. All the men over there were like, yeah, all right, sister. That's right. Free Palestine. Don't go and don't put this down because, hey, I mean, come on now. This is a free view for the whole world to see. Like the ummah is going to be relieved. The alleviation of from Allah is going to come based on a bunch of people screaming in the street, oh, free Palestine, blah, blah, blah. Who's listening to you? Netanyahu was sitting in his office, smoking on a cigar, and then he's like, let me watch he has, I don't know, a drone. He has a drone that travels around the world. And then, he was going to bomb Gaza. And then as soon as he saw these 5 teenagers or whatever they are in front of the masjid in Turkey, he was like, oh, okay, yalla, let's free Palestine. Thank you, guys. What would I have done without you? Wallah al-Azim, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Wallahi, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. These people will walk in hundreds of thousands and march the streets, but when in Salatul Fajr, there are only 2 rows in our local masjid. This is in Riyadh. There are 2.5 rows every single morning for Fajr. As soon as Ramadan comes in, wallahi, the masjid can no longer accommodate over maybe 100 rows. Explain to me how we go from 2 rows to 50 rows. The first day of Ramadan, those people didn't travel from Pakistan, from India, and from China, and from Vietnam. No. Those people have always lived in that community. But they only remember the masjid in Ramadan. Tell them, let's go and march in the streets. And beg the disbelievers to free Palestine. Then they bring the dancing and drums ودبكة ومدري ايش. الله 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 الله، ايه ده ايه ده يا عم الحاج؟ ايه ده يا بابا؟ ايه ده؟ Allah النصر. And we want the Nasr from Allah, and you guys are Zionists, you're traitors of the Ummah. We're the traitors of the Ummah يا ابن الجزمة. وانت ايش؟ انت ابو traits. انت the treachery itself. You've abandoned the deen of Allah, and you've committed every haram under the sun. Aslan. And we are the traitors of the Ummah while you are betraying the deen and the halal and the haram. Everything. في سبيل الفلسطين وغزة. Wallahi, a bunch of jokers. You tell the people the truth, they can't. Their brains are shut down. Their system here, there's no brain here. There's, I don't know what they've put there. A screw, a loose screw. You know that when you go like this, go ta 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 ta. I don't know what they have in there. They're blinded by emotions. They can't understand what we're saying. Allah is going to give us victory when we don't even bother to pray. في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه يسبح له فيها بالغدو والأصال رجال لا تليهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة يخافون يوما تتقلب فيه القلوب والأبصار. Where are you from these ayat? Where are you from these ayat? People don't even bother worshipping Allah during morning time because it's inconvenient. Fajr time is inconvenient. This is my sleeping time, brother. I need 8 hours of sleep so I can grow 2 inches. I need 8 hours sleep because, sleep is a very deep thing. You don't understand. When I'm asleep, I disconnect. It's like my soul is not with me. I'm here or there. اخرس يا شيخ. خلك ساكت بالله عليك. Enough. Sleep time. Enough with the sleep time. Get up and go pray. That's what it is. That's what's going on. They cannot even put the prayer. They were created for the salah. They were created to worship Allah. Salah is the prime example of worshiping Allah. We're not even sacrificing that, and then we want the victory from Allah. No, and we want to go play with the Zionists, and then we want everybody else to come and clean up our mess. I go mess with them, and then now I'm in trouble. It's like you go to your neighbors. You go to the next neighborhood and you start a fight with the entire neighborhood, and then you call your brother, hey, come help me. He's like, yo, they're gonna beat both of us to death. You're a traitor. You tell him, you're a traitor. You've stood me up. Yeah, who told you to go over there in the first place? You didn't even align with me. You go do your own thing, and now you want me to come and save you? And if I come to save you, we're all gonna be gone. I'm trying to prepare myself for something bigger. I'm trying to build something. I'm not ready for this. That's exactly what's happening today. And you understand what this analogy is about.